In that story, we have Mary going ahead and coming to Jesus in the very opening of the book saying, the wine's run out. What are we going to do? And Jesus gives a very frank answer. And that answer is, it's not my time. Now, in John's gospel, it's pretty, it's clear. Jesus is God. Jesus is the Word incarnate. There's no, questioning how human he is, etc. He's human and he's God. So it's all the more interesting that Jesus, God, says, no, it's not my time. And then Mary turns around, tells two servants, he's going to tell you to go do something, go do it. I mean, that shouldn't have happened. If Mary was, in a traditional Christian understanding, being a good, devout woman, shouldn't she have just accepted what God told her? Shouldn't she have just said, yes, God said it's not his time, so I'll trust his judgment. But she doesn't. And you see that also, again, in the story of the Syrophoenician woman or the Canaanite woman in the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus says, why should I give the food meant for the children to the dogs? And everyone focuses in on the fact that Jesus is using the racially charged language of the day for the Gentiles. But the more interesting part of it is that the woman rebuts Jesus, that she undermines his argument. She says, yeah, but you forgot, even the dogs eat the crumbs. And then in Mark's gospel, Jesus replies and says, for saying this, for rebutting me, for arguing I was wrong, your daughter has been healed. And in Matthew's gospel, it changes the language and it says, because of your act of faith, this rebutting me is an act of faith. That's what healed you. So you see this similar strange idea throughout the Old and the New Testament, even in the life of Jesus, about not just accepting what God says just because he said it, but actually pushing back because you know something deeper about God and you're trying to bring it out.
I'm here with Matthew Cortman, and we're here to talk about his new book. What's the title of the book, Matt?
The title of my book is Saying No to God.
So if you had it your way, what would you want a reader to take from this book?
I would hope that the number one thing a reader would take from this book is that God, as he's presented in the scriptures, is not interested in a one-way conversation. In fact, he's actually interested in a conversation. And it's not a rhetorical conversation. It's really a dynamic between two people, a God who wants a faithful servant who understands him and a faithful servant who wants to understand God. And really what I try to outline, especially in the beginning of the book, is exploring how the Bible is far more interested in the character of God and in how our relationships define how others see his character than a question of whether or not there's authority that has to be answered to, whether or not God is simply interested in robots that know that when he says something, you do it.
Matthew's book, Saying No to God, will be available on Amazon and other available retailers.